Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Chayla and I'm the owner of Mill Street Market. We do home decor and tumblers. Today I'm going to show you how to epoxy a glitter tumbler. So what you will need is a turner, a cup, this one is glittered, and in sapphire and white ombre. You will need a foam football from the Dollar Tree, PVC pipe, 2 medicine cups, a wood popsicle stick, a torch, lighter, and your epoxy. I use the amazing clear cast 2-part epoxy, 1-to-1 ratio of side A and side B. So first you're going to measure out your epoxy. I'm doing side A first. And because this is a 30-ounce cup, I'm going to do 10 milliliters. It's going to give you 20 milliliters total. So here's 10 of side A. Side A is thicker than side B. And if your side B has a little yellow tint to it, that's fine. It will be clear. And then 10 milliliters of side B. Because side B is thinner than side A, I'm trying to get this in the frame, I pour the B into the A. And then just use your stick. Also put some wax paper down. Or you could use a foil pan or, excuse me, whatever you would like. I do wax paper so I can just bundle it all up and throw it in the trash. And then you're going to want to stir these together. Make sure you scrape your sides to get all of it incorporated. On my glittered cups, I like to flood the first coat of epoxy, which means I'm adding more to it than what's needed. But in the long run, it ends up saving me because it's a smooth finish. And then I just have to add a thin coat over the decals. This one will have a water slide decal, which I will do a video on that. Okay, once this is mixed up, then I take my torch and I pop the bubbles on it and heat it up a little bit. And by heating it up, it's going to help it set a little faster too. So it's going to pop the bubbles. It'll help get it clearer and set up faster. And it also helps it, excuse me, spread faster too. Because it'll be thinner. You don't want to overdo it. So when it starts to get runny like this, that is when I say it's good. So then I hit it one last time on the top to pop the micro bubbles. There are many different ways to epoxy a cup. This is just the way that I have found that works the best for me. Okay, so you make sure that your turner is on and spinning. I give it just a minute. It might work out a kink or something. Sometimes it'll stop, and once it's going good, then I start to epoxy. Now my wand on this one is a little shorter, so I'm going to add another piece of wax paper just to catch any drips. I don't want my turner to be epoxy to itself. Okay, so then what I do is I just pour some on here and I guide it with my finger. And you are going to have drips because this is a flood coat. But I've noticed with glitter, and then scrape some off your finger too, and you can reuse that. With glittered cups, it soaks the epoxy up. So I always use more than what I need, and the excess will just drip off. And then I will also do a video on how I glittered this cup. This was just the spot that I was at with it and thought, well, let's do a video on it. So you want the whole cup covered. And a way that you're going to be able to tell is your finger will slide on the cup if there is epoxy in that spot. If your glove kind of sticks, then you know that you need to add epoxy to that spot. This one might need more epoxy, which is fine. You just mix up some new. Now, I glitter cups with Loctite spray. I spray it on my cups, glitter it, let it dry, and then spray another. I'm going to mix up another 10 on this cup. And then you have to spray a clear coat over it. And that's just a clear spray paint gloss. And that helps hold your glitter on so that it doesn't float, because the glitter will float once the epoxy hits it if you don't put a cover over it. There are other ways to glitter too. I used to use the Mod Podge way, but I was finding that the cups were very heavy with that. So this just works better for me. You can do that however you want. Now with heating up the epoxy, my dry times are about 5 hours. So this will spin for 5 hours. And then I can, sometimes 8. It depends on the weather. It is very humid where I live, so it just depends. We're just going to mix this up again. My epoxy and my medicine cups I do get on Amazon. The torch lighter I get at Menards. It's less than $2. They are refillable. Just have to shop around and see what prices work best for you. Heat this up. Everybody says that they stir slow. You can. I found that it really doesn't matter. You need the torch to pop the bubbles. Now before I had sprayed alcohol on my cups to try and pop bubbles, and it would leave fish eyes every time. So I quit doing that. Also, please use the epoxy in a well-ventilated area. It does give off fumes. And use a respirator. Okay, so now I'm going to pour the rest of this on. You want it to go over that edge to get the bottom too. And then I noticed if you run your finger along the bottom, then you can get some of that that's dripping. So this is a flood coat. It does not look pretty at first, but it does even out. Epoxy is self-leveling. So you always want to make sure that your turner is spinning constantly, that it's not stopping or jerking. You want to make sure that your cup is flush so that it's not tilted or anything, because you will have bumps. You just want to make sure the whole thing is coated. I go up over my lip because that seals the glitter in around the lip of the cup. And that way, when you wash it, it's not going to chip away. If you get some on your finger, just scrape it back into the cup. Just go all the way around it. Okay, and then see, I scraped about a half a cup off there, so then I'm just going to pour it on and it's going to level itself out. It will drip, but it'll also cover. All right, and then I'm just going to let that spin for 5 to 8 hours. Actually, I forgot, I'm sorry. Let the epoxy sit for a minute or two. And then you're going to hit it with the torch, and that's going to pop any bubbles that are on the surface. Now after it's done spinning, if you missed a spot, maybe it's not completely covered, it might be thinner than the rest of the cup, just sand that spot and then epoxy over it when you do your decals. Then you're just going to keep the torch moving. You do not want to hold it in one spot because it will burn your epoxy and it will make it bubble up in that spot. But this is also going to help it set faster, and it's going to get any air bubbles off the surface. So just keep it moving. And then I do the bottom really quick. You do not want to hold it in one spot too long. And that's it. It will spin for 5 to 8 hours. It should have a nice, smooth, glassy finish. If there are some spots that the glitter's sticking up, you just lightly sand it with a 600 grit sandpaper and wipe it down with alcohol. Apply your decal and epoxy over it. So our next video will be how to glitter a tumbler. So please join us. Hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you know that we've posted new videos. And thanks for joining us. Have a great day.